comedian taking horse medication. What are they telling us about Russia? What are they telling us about Syria? Do you understand that that's why people get concerned about the veracity of the news?
Joe Rogan doesn't hold back, especially when it comes to calling out the media. And when CNN's top medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, sat across from him, Rogan unleashed one of the most brutal takedowns you'll ever see. The result? CNN was fully exposed. Let's get into it.
The rest of them are all lying about me taking horse medication. And we should talk about that.
That bothered you.
It should bother you too. They're lying at your network about people taking human drugs versus drugs for veterinary.
Calling it a horse dewormer is not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing.
And this is where the sparks flew. See, Rogan had recently gotten sick. His doctor prescribed him a treatment plan, which included Ivermectin, a medication that has been safely used for humans for decades. But when CNN picked up the story, they didn't just report it, they spun it. Instead of explaining the facts, they painted Rogan as if he was out here chugging down a horse dewormer. Why? Well, Rogan had been one of their loudest critics. So, the network leaned into a sensational headline that made him look like a reckless conspiracy guy.
That's a lie that they're conscious of. This is not a mistake.
Yeah.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine.
Well, the FDA put this thing out. You saw that. Did you see that thing that the FDA put out?
You can really see Joe wasn't really letting this slide. Calm, precise, and relentless, he presses Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent, for answers. He is forcing him to confront the blatant dishonesty from his own network. This isn't just a heated exchange. It is Rogan putting the media on trial, right in front of millions, and shredding the narrative piece by piece.
I admit it. They said, you are not a horse, you are not a cow, stop taking this stuff, or something like that.
Why would you say that when you're talking about a drug that's been given out to billions and billions of people, a drug that was responsible for one of the inventors of it winning the Nobel Prize in 2015?
Yeah.
A drug that has been shown to stop viral replication in vitro.
Now, let's slow it down for a second. The drug Joe Rogan is talking about is called Ivermectin. It comes in two forms. One for animals, yes, usually livestock, and one for humans. The human version has FDA approval and has been safely prescribed for decades to treat parasites and other infections. This isn't some underground secret. It's right there in the public record, easy to verify with a 2-second search.
And say that's horse dewormer. I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous. It's just a lie.
I don't think anyone is...
But don't you think that a lie like that is dangerous on a news network when you know that they know they're lying? You know that they know that I took medicine, like here it is. This is Ivermectin.
You got
this
it with
right
you.
Here. Somebody gave it to me.
All right, hang on. The thing is, we're like going so fast. Like I feel like I'm missing. Do
you think that's a problem that your news network lies?
Well, you can just see how furious Joe is. CNN cannot claim they didn't know the difference. They weren't confused. They weren't misinformed. They made a choice. By framing Rogan's treatment as horse paste, they weren't reporting news. They were running a smear campaign. And why? Because Rogan had been openly hammering them on their credibility for weeks. This was payback, pure and simple. A calculated attempt to humiliate him in front of millions by twisting the narrative. Listen.
Breaking news, one of the world's highest paid and most influential podcast hosts, Joe Rogan, just announced that he's tested positive for coronavirus. Rogan telling his 13 million Instagram followers that he was treated with several drugs, and he included Ivermectin on the list, a drug used for livestock. The FDA and the CDC warn against using to treat COVID.
But here's the thing. Rogan isn't just another critic they could ignore. He had the platform, the receipts, and now their own medical correspondent sitting across from him, and he isn't letting go.
Does it bother you that the news network you worked for out and out lied, just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer?
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You didn't ask? You didn't think that was you're the medical guy over there.
I didn't ask.
And that right there is the breaking point. Rogan refuses to let the moment pass. Calm but unrelenting, He keeps Gupta pinned down with the one question that mattered. Why did CNN lie? Next up, just look at how Gupta looks like a man cornered.
No,
Yes,
Joe.
they did. I watched.
You watched?
I watched.
You watched? No, I don't think there's
Yes,
glee.
they did.
I don't. No one takes.
Joe Rogan says he has COVID, taking livestock drug despite warnings. Yeah.
Jamie had to pull this up.
You want
huh?
to play it?
Does she
This
have
is your
glee?
news network.
I'm gonna watch.
Let's see.
I'm gonna watch.
I am really loving this exchange. Gupta's nervous chuckles, forced smiles, shifting in his seat as if a little body language could escape the pressure. But Rogan isn't biting. Every attempt Gupta makes to dodge, Rogan reels him right back in. It is almost surgical, the way Rogan dismantles the deflections and zeros and on the truth. And at this point, this wasn't just a conversation anymore. It was a live cross-examination. And Gupta, he was sweating through every second of it.
If they're lying about a comedian taking horse medication, what are they telling us about Russia? What are they telling us about Syria? Do you understand that that's why people get concerned about the veracity of the news?
The concern was look, just the nuanced part of this, and you're not taking a horse dewormer. I get it.
That's a hammer blow. Rogan isn't just defending himself anymore. He is pulling back the curtain on a much bigger issue. If mainstream outlets are comfortable fabricating a story about him, a podcaster, what happens when the stakes are geopolitical? Because let's be honest, Rogan isn't a president or a senator or even a political candidate. He is a comedian with a massive audience. Yet CNN still went out of their way to paint him as reckless and untrustworthy. The very reason even Trump labeled CNN as fake news.
John Roberts, go ahead, John. No. John Roberts, go ahead. CNN's fake news. I don't take questions. I don't take questions from CNN. CNN is fake news. I don't take questions from CNN.
Speaking of Donald Trump, as the 2024 election drew closer, the media's smear machine kicked into overdrive. Every headline seemed engineered to brand him as reckless, dangerous, or a looming threat to democracy, while the real issues facing the country were quietly brushed aside. And here's the kicker. CNN wasn't alone. Across the board, outlets were abandoning objectivity in favor of an agenda.
For lefties losing it, the fake news media is really hitting new lows, so eager to restart their debunked Russian conspiracy theories that they somehow managed to mix up this man, Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, with this dude, Vladimir Putin. Easy mistake to make if you've lost all reasoning, any semblance of objectivity.
And this is the real takeaway. You start to see just how far outlets like CNN and MSNBC are willing to go when they've decided someone is the enemy. At that point, it's not about the truth, it's about control. MSNBC eventually had to backtrack, not once, but twice.
Last night, The Last Word reported on excerpts of an interview between the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and an Indian TV news network in which she said Trump was good friends with a world leader. Now, we said that world leader was Vladimir Putin, but the full interview was subsequently released, and it showed that Gabbard was referring to Donald Trump and the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi.
They were forced to issue public apologies for their mistake.
That's what happened. Let's hear one more correction from MSNBC on that issue.
Last night, we reported on excerpts of an interview between the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and an Indian TV news network, in which she said that Trump was good friends with a world leader. We said that world leader was Vladimir Putin, but the full interview shows that Gabbard was referring to Trump and Indian Prime Minister Modi.
Well, this wasn't a harmless slip of the tongue. It was a glaring showcase of partisan bias hiding behind the mask of journalism. Think about it. MSNBC makes an offhand comment about Trump being friends with a world leader, and MSNBC's immediate knee-jerk reaction is, she must mean Putin. No fact-checking, no context, just a straight leap into conspiracy mode. That's not journalism. That is reckless speculation with a political agenda. Because what legitimate news outlet hears half a sentence and instantly spins it into a Cold War thriller? The truth didn't matter. What mattered was reviving the tired old Trump-Russia narrative, even if they had to invent the connection themselves. What do you think?